want to go through scripture and talk about being sifted today. Yeah, I know. Now, granted, we're all being tested. We're all being sifted. You look at Job. Job was tested and sifted. Now, we love talking about Job. We learned a lot of things from Job. What we fear most comes upon us. That is the statement. You can put it on a t-shirt, put it on a magnet. We know that. That's the quote from day in and day out about Job. What we fear most will come upon us. But Job was sifted. The devil came to the Lord and said, hey, your dude Job, well, he's perfect. He had a good attitude. Wasn't perfect, not sinless, but his heart towards God was great. He goes, well, I can just imagine how this kind of went through because I bet I can turn him. You want to sift and test Job? Go right ahead. Just don't touch his life. I'm grateful for that little line there. Job was tested. He was sifted. Lost everything, yet still never cursed God. Never turned. Daniel prayed and prayed and prayed. He was thrown in the lion's den. He prayed and prayed and prayed. He was tested. He was sifted to see what fruit, what was workable, what was valuable in his life and what wasn't. He proved well. King David was sifted. King David wasn't perfect, but he was tested in his journey. 1 Peter chapter 5. We learn that the devil is a roaring lion, walking about trying to figure out who he can devour. Now, that word devour, it's not a great word. It means to gulp entirely. It's like, okay, that's interesting theory. So Satan is out there, he's looking through all of our lives and he's marching around trying to see who he can devour, who he can gulp up in its entirety, so that way whatever God had planned for us falls to the wayside. So we don't ever accomplish the vision that God has for us, to devour us. I think it's interesting that Peter was the one who shared this verse. Peter had been through it. Peter knew in that chapter that Satan was after every one of us. Why? Because he had been there.